them right here.
Alright guys, tuan-tuan dapat buat perlawanan yang kedua, best of 3 Indonesia menentang Malaysia. Sama-sama kita saksikan perlawanan ini.
Adakah Malaysia akan mara ke Grand Final Iesf 2025 kali ini untuk menahankan gelaran juara back to back? Sama-sama kita saksikan guys.
Give it up for World Esports Championship 2012.
Sky dapat Lancelot.
Can Team Malaysia go to
Ada belanja-belanja tak? Sing-sing nanti. Hopefully ada guys.
Our defending champions one step away from making it back to the final stage of the WEC. And it is only their long-time rivals who will be able to stand in their way. Who will come out on top this time? Will Indonesia be able to bring out a second stage now that they're pushed into a corner?
Okay, Kabuki dah mula jaga jarak compare daripada game pertama.
Now we are seeing that Team Malaysia is just going to continue to keep up the pace, making sure that they'll be able to actually pressure out Team Indonesia. Going to actually pick out. Yums comes in, goes in for the dash, but it's not going to be enough though.
Yum ni damage agak banyak.
Try to actually pick up one after another just to give a lot of pressure from that mid lane.
Now, one advantage that Team Indonesia has this time around is that they do actually have mid lane prio. Gatot and Farsa together pair up very well. Kabuki not having a good time in lane as is expected of anyone dealing with an X-Borg. But Team Indonesia can take advantage of their mid lane rotational pressure. It means that Yums isn't able to aggressively invade. It looks like Skies will still try to be a little bit annoying.
Yes, Sakai is definitely going to actually just invade a little by little, getting all the gold crabs as well. Now pushing in,
Alright.
managed to score away.
Agaknya Hayabusa ketinggalan satu jungle minion. Skies masuk, beri bantuan ke atas Lolil. Lolil mendapatkan level 4 di fasa awal ini. Turtle juga telah dimulakan oleh Hayabusa daripada Indonesia. Momo dah pun level 4 menggunakan ulti untuk menutup Farsa. Farsa sangat-sangat low nampak gayanya. Turtle yang mudah bakal dapatkan oleh tim Malaysia.
Definitely not, but it is going to be a free turtle in the hands of Team Malaysia.
Mana yang lebih kemas daripada Malaysia sementara saja tadi untuk secure bahagian turtle. Distribution terpaksa digunakan oleh Hayabusa. Oh, ada strike. Masih lagi tiada yang tertumbang. Rotasi bahagian atas.
But it's still pretty even currently. Team Indonesia has been playing defensively, trying to make sure that they don't fall for the same tricks that happened to them in game number 1. Gold lead is minuscule, though slightly in favor of Team Malaysia.
Farsa terpaksa menggunakan flicker melarikan diri. Satu spell telah pun dibazikan.
For Team Indonesia. Malaysia, they know for a fact that early game, they can definitely push the Indonesia from the back and making sure that they just don't overextend.
Team Malaysia knows there is actually a timer on their heads this time around. Yums has not been able to get a lot of value out of this Hilda so far, and Team Indonesia wants to keep it that way as much as possible. They have multiple sources of mid to late game scaling, where once again, if they don't fall too far behind in the mid stages, we'll just be able to carry them through to the end game.
Oh, Kabuki!
The keys goes in for the punch-up, but missed out a little bit, so Kabuki will still be able to survive things out.
So far, we're seeing actually very good movements from Team Indonesia. They have adjusted.
Lebih berhati-hati sekarang ini Indonesia.
Heroes from last time around. Not attempting to make overly aggressive plays onto the opposite side, even though they have a Farsa. They're playing defense. They're keeping themselves safe to play for the late game. They know that Malaysia is the one that needs to be creating pressure.
Boleh tak jauh beza guys Alright, kita tengok. Bakal ada perlawanan di bahagian turtle sebentar saja lagi. Aran dicari, terpaksa menggunakan flicker. Adakah Aran bakal ditumbangkan? Ultimate masih lagi ada daripada Aran. Oh, membeli masa agak lama, akan tetapi sedikit lambat follow up daripada Indonesia untuk membantu Aran. Lama dia buy time. Rugi lah. Tapi turtle agaknya bakal jadi turtle percuma lagi untuk Malaysia.
And I want to bring attention from everyone to Yum's positioning in that fight as well, specifically cutting off the backup from the rest of Team Indonesia and then pincering around to ensure that the kill goes through. Things like this are what makes the difference in those situations.
Kabuki dalam keadaan agak selesa sekarang ini. Di bahagian bawah, Aran menjadi tumbangkan.
Making sure that every pressure is done by Team Malaysia.
There's just something about the way Team Malaysia plays. They know how to get under your skin. As an EXP laner, you know, they just committed so many resources to kill you the first time. Surely,
in term of
they won't be around the second
pressure,
time.
decision making guys nampak lebih unggul pasukan Malaysia untuk early game ini. Yum ultimate daripada Hayabusa menggunakan retribution juga. Yum berjaya ditumbangkan oleh Hayabusa. Flicker daripada Stormy mencari Hayabusa. Adakah bakal ada bantuan kat sini? Dia akan lari dari bahagian kanan. Iesf masuk. Nampak gayanya jalan pulang ditutup. Berjaya ditumbangkan oleh Stormy. Bahagian atas terpaksa melepaskan satu tower.
From the eyes of Mage Prodigy himself, Joe finally able to get a kill on the side of Team Indonesia, but the trade of the jungler for the roamer is simply not worth it currently. Even though they've been trying to play defensive, Malaysia has already built up a 2k lead once again at the 6-minute mark. Next turtle up in 35 seconds. Indonesia is going to need to slow this down even more, but it's difficult to do so now that Aran has been focused as hard as he was.
Conceal, ultimate terkena ke atas Yum.
Doesn't have much of the setup that is required for Team Indonesia.
Ni late game bahaya juga guys untuk Malaysia.
I told you guys, you gotta call the police. This is a stealer.
Sebab aku rasa terlampau mengharapkan Iesf juga. Kabuki ni late game sakit ni. Dia tak ada mati lagi. Masih lagi dalam pasar selesa.
Map control, even though
alright, turtle yang ketiga.
Akankah
ada berlaku perangan? Hayabusa agak sedikit jauh di bahagian bawah telah menunjukkan diri. Nampaknya bakal jadi perfect turtle mungkin untuk Malaysia. Peluang cerah. Hayabusa memilih untuk meng-cutting wave di bahagian bawah.
Trying to do best to make sure that at least there is going to be a split push. Is it going to be enough though? So much pressure has already been done. Even on the side of the turret itself, we do see that the first layers has already been scrapped out by Team Malaysia. And again, they want to take things a little bit slow, but Malaysia doesn't want to.
Now, why would they? They know that they're strong right now. They know that Team Indonesia will actually become a little scary the later the game goes. So they're gonna keep pushing it. No
ultimate daripada Kabuki tidak terkena seperti tadi. Counter engage daripada Malaysia. Berjaya menumbangkan Gatot Kaca. Nampaknya Kabuki dicari oleh Yum. Baik. PDS strike. Yum jadi tumbangkan oleh Parsa.
Yum's sacrifice
terus
is
masuk
there, but it's perfectly worth it to get a kill on the
Tommy
enemy
baik duk baca
marksman.
pergerakan. Dia tahu macam ada enemy kat situ. Dia nak masuk bush patah balik. Tak jadi masuk bush. Ultimate Kabuki tak kena.
Even in their half of the map right now.
Shadow.
The tower is slowly being taken more and more. Joe at the very least is able to secure his orange buff from Skies this time, but while
blue buff
he's
berjaya dicuri.
his purple is being stolen by Stormy.
For one trade and for another to be lost as well. So that's a sacrifice that is needed by Team Indonesia. But what can you do when every
gold
single
dipegang
corner
sekarang ni oleh
is already
Malaysia.
been got out by Team
Guys, Malaysia peluang cerah ni guys untuk dapatkan back to back ni guys. InsyaAllah guys. Di Mara Grand Final ni insyaAllah peluang cerah ni guys. Home ground buff lagi kan.
The gold lead still looking pretty big right now.
Jadi guys, pada yang menonton korang jangan lupa subscribe. Bantuan korang sangat saya perlukan untuk menaikkan lagi. Ultimate AOG tidak berjaya digunakan oleh Widdy menggunakan Gatot Kaca melarikan diri.
The AOG was cancelled 2 times in a row.
Baca saya subscribe guys
feels bad. Gatot Kaca is popular
besarkan
right now
lagi
because
channel
he has ways of getting in and out of fights for free. But when you have a Zeus in, focusing you down, and all the crowd
lot yang pertama
is throwing at you, even the tankiest member of Team Indonesia is not able to survive. Without their Gatot, Team Indonesia cannot come anywhere close to contesting this first Lord of the game. And yet another objective goes in the hands
mudah dapat kali Skies, tiada kontes daripada Indonesia. Macam menunggu kekalahan saja sekarang ini. Atau menunggu kesilapan daripada tim Malaysia.
Hey, hi guys. We're
Ada
just
counter
doing.
engage.
Now coming
Ultimate
on
daripada
for
Kabuki
the
tidak
Lord is
terkena
punching
seperti
in.
saja tadi.
It's going to be a little bit of steal of the buff as well. They will be able to
Tommy beli
secure
Winter
it
Crown.
out, but somehow Team Malaysia, they know they can be able to actually steal away or even break down that last turret coming in before goes into the inhibitor. But goes out right here.
Hayabusa.
Joe.
Jalan pulang ini ditutup. Hayabusa menjadi tumbangan dengan mudah.
That is just not worth it. You shouldn't be sacrificing your life to protect your tier 2 like that. There is a Lord pushing down bottom.
Tak berbaloi.
We're 10
Seorang
minutes
diri
in.
untuk
The Team
meng-clear
Malaysia
minion
might
untuk dapat
already be looking
menahan
at a potential endgame angle.
tower
That's
tier
just how
2
far
itu.
apart the goal difference is looking at right now.
Sing.
Towers being taken
Sing.
down left and right. Holy defenses are intact. So Indonesia
Gayanya
should be able
Skies.
to survive this push at the very least.
Kita tak nampak dia
But the
belanja lagi, guys,
damage done is going to delay their potential scaling for so long.
Takut buat mistik terkumbek pula Betul juga
Bot can be able to clear things out for a while, but still it's not going to be good.
It must better menang dengan style daripada menang buat freestyle. Dengan kekalahan, guys, Lagi style menang dengan kemenangan daripada freestyle. Kalah dengan freestyle.
Just timing for Team Indonesia and they're
boleh ke?
leaving all those space for Malaysia to just get a lot of their own buffs, getting all their stacks as well. So it's a little bit of risky coming up for Team Indonesia.
Considering the goal difference we're looking at right now, Indonesia being able to keep all of their inhibitors alive is actually a pretty good scenario. And even that is after losing all of their external towers. Team Malaysia continuing with the snowball, continuing to threaten every part of the map. Team Indonesia has to stay together to avoid being picked off. And even when they're together, they can't really find anything on the map.
Hayabusa belum mendapatkan berubah. Oh, jalan pulang yang ditutup. Hayabusa menjadi tumbangkan. Cantik. Line sanity juga telah dibuka. Hayabusa lagi dan lagi ditekan.
They also don't want to overextend, but it seems like Yums is overlooking, trying to find a way. Can they actually do a little bit of setup right here? Team Indonesia fall with 4 players only to survive it out.
Step by step, the defending champions are getting closer and closer to the returning to the battle for the throne that they were at a single year ago. Indonesia, their chances are not nil, not 0, but they are very, very small. They need a miracle to happen, a massive
Kabuki pun tak
mistake
dapat
being
farm,
made
guys.
by their opponents in order to get
Perbezaan
the
gol
scaling
sekarang ni saya
necessary.
tunjukkan
They
dia.
need to find shutdowns, but it's not like Team Malaysia actually
EXP
has
beza
that many kills
2000,
either.
jungle
They've been
beza
crashing
3000
sheerly
lebih
through
kurang.
macro.
Mesh
And
beza
because of that, the
1000
gold
lah
bounties,
lebih
even if they were to get picked off, are not as high as you
jauh
would
kat ni,
think,
guys.
and not
Lot
sufficient.
telah
Team
pun
Indonesia
muncul.
needs multiple
Lot
team
yang
fight
kedua
victories
telah pun
in
dimulakan
order to
oleh
get the scaling
Skies.
necessary to
Masih lagi tiada kontes yang diberikan daripada Indonesia. Hayabusa hanya ingin split di bahagian atas. Agaknya split decision making yang cuba dilakukan oleh Indonesia. Cuba untuk campaign bahagian atas mungkin. Widi menggunakan ulti terus untuk melarikan diri. Hayabusa cuba untuk buat flanking mungkin tidak. Sedikit goyah, takut tertangkap lagi dan lagi ditangkap.
This is just perfect
Loyal
textbook play
bagi hadapan.
coming in here from the host country
Zoning
representatives.
minion.
They are ticking every single box,
berjaya
fulfilling every
menjumpai
single
Hayabusa
objective
di bahagian
and mission to completely
bush.
deny their opponent's space on the map.
Jadikah
We can
apa
see that
jalan
snowball
yang
coming
cuba
up
diberikan
as a
oleh
result.
Indonesia sekarang ini?
The Lord now going to be pushing in bot side. There are only inhibitors left standing. No holy defenses. It's a 10k gold difference, which means that the damage
Dia
of Team
lepaskan
Indonesia
gerobak
is
Femini
still
staking,
not
baik.
sufficient. Has Claws only just completed on Kabuki to try and keep himself in the fight a little bit longer. But Team Malaysia just has so many more resources.
Ini hati-hati,
and the
Skies seorang ni.
damage scaling
Takut kena
is on
outplay.
another level
Okay,
altogether.
Skies tak ingin
Whatever
maju ke
happens
hadapan,
here, Team Indonesia
melawan
needs to
dunia.
find some kind
Takut
of
ada mistake dia
perfect
lakukan.
engagement.
Tukang
And even
tangkap
that
Kabuki tu
might
habis tak
not
lari.
be enough.
Ada Hayabusa pula. Okey, Skies masuk. Bahagian bawah. Mudah dapatkan puncher. Hayabusa. Aran juga telah menggunakan ulti. Yum cuba mencari Hayabusa. Menutup jalan pulang ya.
I mean, as long as he can get out, it's still actually a perfectly viable play here. In fact, it's going to be able to save Indonesia a second tower. If not, I think Team Malaysia could have taken that mid inhibitor as well. So that is actually the correct play being done by Joe on the Hayabusa currently. They're gonna try and delay for as much as possible, but here comes
Momo menggunakan
more
ulti.
minion waves.
PDS strike digunakan.
Has already been open just to make sure
Boleh
to clear the
skill.
minion wave coming in.
Loliel masuk.
Actually burst down.
Viraga telah mempecah dapat gayanya.
Now River Spider comes through.
Hayabusa masuk. Menggunakan ultimate. Masih lagi hidup. Kurang damage 10,000 golik sekarang ini dipegang oleh Malaysia. Nice defending daripada Indonesia.
Good job you, because they were literally rushing on saying like, Yums, go get him, man.
Of course they would, right? They're in a very comfortable place. They're feeling themselves. Everything's going their way. But I will give praise to Team Indonesia right now. Those were very solid defenses that we saw considering the goal lead. Keeping themselves as safe as possible, using their health as resources, and dropping in whenever they think they can do enough poke to maybe zone Team Malaysia back. Because of that, they have been able to keep 2 inhibitors intact for now. Next Lord is going to be coming up in 20 seconds. Team Indonesia might be able to hold on to it
guys.
keep themselves in place. But the
Gatot
idea would be to
6.9.
try and maybe contest it away from Team
Hilda
Malaysia.
8.5.
They still have to be very
Roma
careful
pun
because
jauh
the
kan,
bot lane is
gol.
wide open and Skies is already setting up the slow
Macam
push
mana
into
ni?
it. Because of that, they can take the Lord Dance quite easily. And
Alright, sekarang ni Malaysia kena lebih disiplin. Mungkin lot yang ketiga ni boleh mendapatkan kemenangan. PDS strike. Kabuki dicari menjadi tumbangkan. Flanking daripada belakang daripada Yum dan juga Sky. Pakainya Aran. Tiba kena cari Momo cuma mencari Hayabusa. Hayabusa berjaya menteleport untuk pulang. Alright, di bahagian tengah saat ini masuk Iesf skill. Nice Sky. Dia tahu pasal dah tak ada flicker. Sing. Baik, guys. Pembacaan skill yang baik dan juga spell atas jadi didapatkan. Imit daripada Hayabusa. Widi sekarang dicari last insanity menjadi menumbangkan Widi. Aran cuba untuk mengclear minion bahagian tengah. Pakainya Aran bakal jadi mangsa seterusnya. Killing spree untuk Stormy. Belanja. Sing. Kabuki dicari. Ultimate daripada Kabuki tidak terkena. Berjaya dielak menggunakan second skill. Momo masuk nampak gayanya. Tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, Malaysia bakal marah ke Grand Final. Guys, bye-bye. Bye guys.
To the final stage of the World Esports
Ayo.
Championship in spectacular
Kok macam beef kali dengan Indonesia ni guys.
They have systematically dismantled Team Indonesia. Not a single opportunity given, not a single mercy spared. This is
Pakainya Malaysia berjaya. Revenge kembali.
Such performance.
Lord.
Definitely, this is another history to be made for our Team Malaysia. They know for a fact that they want to contest. They want to keep that title under their belt. And this is why they're making sure that the first game of the day is a clean sweep.
A well-deserved victory and a team deserving all the praise in the
Congratulations
world.
Malaysia,
There's really
kita
not much
mendengarkan
more we can
interview
say
sebentar.
about it. That is unfortunately the end of the road for Team Indonesia. And as per usual, we've got an interview up on stage with our host. So we'll let Rose take it away from here.
Ada Skies dan juga Stormy
The
mungkin di interview.
reigning kings have returned to prove that the crown was never up for grabs in the first place. Tuan, this is your first grand finalist, Team Malaysia!
Grand final guys.
Boys, that was such a convincing win. A very clean 1-2. How does it feel to be defending your title in front of your home
Luang
ground?
serah ni guys untuk dapatkan champion balik ni. Serius.
First of all, I want to say thank you and very grateful, Alhamdulillah, for this win, for this slot secure to Grand Final. And I'm really satisfied because we really working hard for this. Because we have only 2 weeks after MPL to prepare this, and I'm really grateful with our new lineup as Iesf. We able to achieve this grand final. Maybe not champion yet. We will tomorrow. Today.
Later.
Okay, sorry. Later we will get the trophy. Don't worry, guys.
Wow!
Wow.
And a promise to the citizens, and of course, Stormy with such an incredible win streak so far in the WEC. How do you expect the grand finals to play out later? And who do you think you guys will be going up against between Turkey and Cambodia?
Cambodia.
We want to fight Cambodia.
Why?
We miss fighting them in M Series last time.
Yeah, you guys miss fighting them. And of course, how do you think that's going to play out? Do you think it's going to be like a very 50-50 game?
We never know what is going to happen, right? So let's just see.
All right then. Once again, guys, this is your first grand finalist. And later on in the evening, we will see the grand finals live in action. Thank you very much.
Alright guys, kau jangan lupa untuk like, komen, share bagi pendapat korang revenge yang diberikan daripada M Series berjaya dituntut kembali oleh tim Malaysia. Yang paling penting korang jangan lupa subscribe. We're gonna see you guys on the next matches, the grand final. Let's go.